How is it going, everybody? And welcome to another beautiful deck. I called it Spice Girls. Spice Girls because we have not one, not two, not three, but four amazing girls power creatures, planeswalkers here that we're gonna utilize in a control shell in Selesny colorations. So let's go shortly through and check out what all our Spice Girls, and I think Katilda is also Spice Girl. I'm not sure about it, but you can tell me down in the comments below. So first off, of course, with a really underplayed planeswalker, Vivien on the Hunt. An amazing, historically speaking, planeswalker. Here we have it for 6 mana with 4 loyalty. This is why most likely she's not seeing so much play as she should see. Let's check out what she does and what are her possibilities. Her +2 ability allows us to sacrifice a creature and search our library for a creature card with mana value +1. And speaking about +1, her +1 ability allows us to mill 5 cards and then return all the creature cards that we milled this way to our hand. This is the ability that we're gonna use the least of her abilities, but she has also much more, and this is her -1. -1 ability allows us to create a 4/4 Rhino creature token, and why these tokens are important and in general why this is a Selesny control build with token synergy, you're gonna see shortly. Next off, we're gonna check out our Elspeth Resplendent. Some people of you already know her from my mono white build, and I love her in these possibilities where we have some really powerful 3 drops, and this is where she shines the most. But let's check her shortly out. She's a 5 mana 5 loyalty planeswalker. This is why she's amazing, and she's gonna see definitely a lot of play in different archetypes containing white, and white is one of the strongest color in the current standard. So her +1 ability, let us put a 1/1 counter on it. And on top of this 1/1 counter, we can put a counter and deciding between First Strike, Lifelink, Vigilance or Flying. These abilities are all super useful, or these counters are all super useful in a lot of different synergies, because we are in a matter where we need to adapt to the game really fast, and this let us adapt to the game on turn 5 if we have our Elspeth Resplendent. But her -3 ability allows us to look at the top 7 cards of our library and put a permanent card with mana value 3 or less on the battlefield with a shield counter. In this case, the shield counter is maybe playing not such a big role, but it can find us some key combo pieces to finish out the game faster with all our tokens, or go wide strategy, or maybe just provide this extra advantage that we need in this game. And her ultimate, the -7 ability, and I guarantee you in this deck you can ultimate her on turn 7 or sometimes even earlier with a little bit of luck, but it allows us to create 5 3/3 angel creature token with flying. That alone is super powerful if you really need this board state to push for the less amount of damage. About our Wandering Emperor, I don't need to talk. I think it's one of the best planeswalker that were printed, and I think this card will definitely see play. So if you still don't have enough copies of it for your archetype, if it's 3 or 4, craft her. This is definitely a must craft a lot of mono whites, or in general white containing archetypes. And then let's check out our last Spice Girl, and this is the Cemetery Protector. Only one of, but I promise you she has a really high draw rate and you will see her more often than not. This is a flash creature, 3/4 human soldier, and it has the ability to exile something from the graveyard. And then when we exiled a specific card type or a land card, whenever we play this land card, we create a 1/1 human creature token. This can help us not only early on or in the mid game already apply some pressure to opponent and take out some important key removal pieces, but also allow us to close the game against aggro players, because suddenly this is a 3/4 body that can not only block effectively because it has flash, but also can make a bigger board to help us in the late to mid game to take over the game and to establish this dominance that we need. The rest, we have here a lot of control tools like Depopulate, for example. I am slowly but surely becoming more and more a bigger fan of Depopulate. Not only it pushes away Doomscar as a removal piece in white, but also it gives us the possibility, if we have multicolored creatures like for example Katilda, drawing also cards. So it's not only a disadvantage if opponent has a multicolored creature that he draws a card, we can also get an advantage out of it. But why is this deck so explosive and can provide us so much utility is because of Broker's Ascendancy. Broker's Ascendancy, a 3 mana enchantment that says that at the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on all creatures and a loyalty counter on all planeswalkers. This is why we are Planeswalker controlish type of build, where we suddenly can ultimate our Planeswalker really early on or utilizing their abilities as often as we want. For example, you can minus with Wanderer multiple times in just 1 or 2 turns. And then I want to mention another small sugar piece that I added because of Boros burn decks or general aggro decks being so unpopular in the current standard, and this is Sunset Rivalry, a 2-mana sorcery that says if opponent has more life than you, you gain 4 life. If opponent has more creatures than you get 2 creature tokens. And if opponent has more cards than you get to draw a card. This is a super powerful utility card in a control shell, but also gives us the ability to survive against early aggression or against other control decks to draw maybe some extra cards because we can go wide, go fast. Otherwise, it's just a killer card against Boros Burn. 4 life is really difficult to recover for them, plus 2 blockers because usually they have more creatures on the board than you. Is also really hard for them to deal with, and until they dealt with it, you have already your spicy girls on the board where you can go out and close the games. For the mana base, you see maybe this is a rotation proof deck. This is why I utilized just the chill lands, and also I added some really nice inclusion here with Botanical Plaza. I think a really nice dual land that always comes tap into the play, but it gives the ability for 5 mana, or if you have 5 mana, to sacrifice it and draw a card. In the late game, especially against other control matchups, this is a super powerful tool. I added it first as an experiment and then it ended up winning me games or getting me the advantage or the cards that I really needed. The same effect is for Selesny, and Selesny is just a great card selection and card advantage tool, but also a little bit of life gain and some synergies with day and night cycle if you're scared of other Brutal Cathars that we are also utilizing ourselves. For example, to trigger Brutal Cathar multiple times with our Selesny is really powerful play. With this being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and let's go straight into it. And here we are in our ham sandwich. Today joined by the special guest. Here, Bebe, who doesn't know, who doesn't saw her. Doesn't appear often, but sometimes she is here, and I think it's nice for you maybe to see her because she's so fluffy. Let's keep this hand. A really control-ish hand, and this is what we want to do here. I think I'm gonna open up with you. There is not really much else I can do, and opponent with a black source. So let's go with another tap land. I'm not really looking to do anything else right here. Opponent is... Oh, this is how you are, huh? Opponent is on an Anvil deck. Okay, interesting. Definitely interesting. So let's go here. By the way, since the update, I don't know if you see it in the footage, the game is a little bit laggy. I don't know if it's for you the same. So up front, before my opponent has anything to do here, let's go and get rid of the Anvil, because we don't want our opponent start getting value out of it. And opponent can sacrifice it to itself and drain me for 1, but not creating a 1/1. Another one, okay. They always have it. They always have it. So, let's see. Then we're gonna play a land. And should we play you? No, but then we're gonna create some tokens. Gain a little bit of life. This will be a little bit more painful for my opponent. And I think then we're gonna chill, right? We're gonna chill. Let's see what happens next. Now for us, the most important thing is that we try to outgrind our opponent, because this is the main reason what our opponent is doing here. And this is totally fine. Opponent with another Ghast, sure. Ghast is my friend, Ghast it. And Ronin, oof. Why didn't you play Ronin before? Ah, okay, but I would have played Ronin before, no? Would you play Ronin before? I think I would have played Ronin before. Now this allows us to draw a card too, so not only create 2 creature tokens, but also draw a card. This is why let's do it. My opponent can sacrifice maybe the token, if he wants to. No, he doesn't. And we set up for a big adversary for the next turn, I would say, right? Hello there, and thank you for your time. If you're new to the channel, consider to subscribe. Otherwise, let's keep on playing. She's done playing now. What? then my opponent needs to be really careful, because I can outgrow myself really fast out of the mid-hook reach. Okay, okay, no, I'm not gonna block. No. No. Okay, sure. No blocks. We're gonna take it as a big boy. Big boy. And play our adversary out. Only gonna drain a little bit. Get some life differency. Let's go play you out. And let's go play you out, I would say. Yes, we're gonna autopay. 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 One more time. Autopay. Yes! Outgrown. Then we can start going in. Start going in. Not bad, huh? Not bad. Turn. Oh, my opponent can create a treasure 1-2, but he can go maximum for 3. He needs to go for 5 because adversary is 5. So if he kills adversary, he kills everything else, right? Scourge could be maybe a play. We will see. We will see. If my opponent plays the Scourge, otherwise it will be, I think, really difficult for my opponent to recover, especially if Farewell hits all the artifacts. Because our opponent is an artifact synergy deck. Another Sanitizer. I would have played it before I played the land drop, but Anvil. Anvil, 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 Anvil. Ah, small misplay. But it's okay. That's not some... Ah, he has Scourge. No. He has Scourge. This is why we are not gonna do this. Instead, we are gonna play you, and we're gonna say all artifacts. Done. Boom, done. What do you say? It's good. It's farewell. Farewell, ham sandwich. It was a nice experience, and let's go next. We have time for a little bit more. And here we are ready for our next game. It's Peter FX. Peter. Always when I hear the name Peter, doesn't matter in real life or wherever, I always need to think about Peter Griffin, a Family Guy who doesn't know. I was a huge fan of it until season 13. I think there it started getting like really, like nothing new, nothing special, but the old seasons are definitely something you should check out. This end is really good. We start with tap lands, yes, low start, but then we have Sunset Rivalry, can bring us back on the board, and Sunset Rivalry, amazing tool against Boros Burn. Not only gives you blockers, it gives you life, but also usually Boros Burn tend to play out their hand really fast, so until turn 3, turn 4 they're usually empty-handed. This is where Sunset Rivalry shines currently, super strong in the current format or for the current situation. And our Peter is mono red, maybe. Or maybe he is a Boros Burn deck, because a lot of people are still trying. I had my small vacation, but this time I didn't play any games, and I think people are still trying to get to Mythic as fast as possible, and it looks like Boros Burn. So opponent with Lumina Aspirant on turn 2. This is very nice, my friend. Another tap land is uncool, but what you gonna do? Let's see what my opponent has. And then maybe we're gonna use March to kill a Luminac Aspirant. Kill the Lumi Doomy, and then we're gonna see from there. Okay, hopeful is okay. Then let's go you for 1, 2. Farewell is too late. Gonna say and he's like, fuck, I should have put it on Luminac Aspirant. On Hopeful Initiate. Yes, you should have, but you didn't. You didn't. Let's go you, and should we play you? Should we play you? It will create me just creatures, right? Will create me just creatures. So let's play Brokers. Brokers Ascendancy. And then we gonna see what we gonna do next turn. Should I play the Protector main phase? Or should I play Emperor and minus it? Oof. Oof. Good, good, good. Good, good. I think I play Emperor and minus it now. Whatchamacallin? Whatchamacallin? Depopulate, I'm calling it. I'm calling it depopulate. Depopulate. My opponent's like, where are your creatures? Why do you play Breaker's Ascendancy? Bro, we are playing Spice Girls. This is a Spice Girl. This is a spicy girl. Much more spicier girl too. And really underplayed card, but I think in some archetypes, especially after post-rotation, Flash archetype with white will be really powerful. Maybe some additions of blue will be super cool. But we will see. We will see. Definitely if we get with Dominaria a little bit more Flash cards. Okay, Peter is annoyed. Peter says, I don't like you. I don't like him too, so Peter, it's okay, totally fine, totally fine. So, again, the play now. Boseiju we can play out. I think my opponent has play with fire. This is why let's play this like this, and then let's grow it a little bit. This gains us a lot of life, get some blockers, he can use a play with fire on the tokens. And from there, I think we're gonna start doing it a little bit different. Doing it a little bit differently. Because I want a Wanderer for the land. Man land is a little bit a problem. In general, Ordly Wardly is a good tool to deal with lands. But we don't have it. So, okay. My opponent exiles and Royal Eruption. So my opponent is empty now. This is very good. Very, very good. We have a land. So if I flash you... if I flash you... cannot take really anything. So let's flash in the Wanderer, I would say. Let's flash in the Wanderer. Create a 2-2. And play the land. Then put a counters on everything. The Wanderer is now on 3. This is a 3-3, so this makes for my opponent much more difficult to attack. Perfect draw will be another Royal Eruption, right? Or Rebuke. And then he can double go on my Wanderer. But this will still give us some time. Not much, but a little bit.
Still have much to learn.
Okay, depopulate. Sure, let's depopulate. We depopulate it again. And see what my opponent does. What he top decks. In this case, nothing. Manland is a problem, as I said. This is why I wanted to save my Wanderer a little bit. But we will see if it gets punished. Oof. Oh, this is good, huh? This is good. Then let's go with you. Let's exile you. And let's go with you. Create a token. Boom. Boom. Boom, I say. Watch now. Watch out now. What you gonna do? What you gonna do if we come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. And this is gonna be summoning really, really much stuff. Like, from now on, it will be really difficult for my opponent. Protector is a problem for him. For haste creatures. Katilda can also be a problem because she has protection from werewolves. Don't forget, Brutal Cathar is a werewolf. So there are things, and do they play other werewolves? I'm not sure about it. Okay, opponent goes for another 3. Sure, my friend. Hope for another 3. Opponent hits. Ooh, this is something very painful for my opponent. Let's go and put you. Say lifelink. What you gonna do now? What you gonna do if we come for you? Amazing. Amazingness pure. And next turn, ultimate! If you want to. If you want to. Ah! Peter! Thank you for the game. This is an amazing showcase. I think what this deck does, especially against meta decks. This is why, let's go to the breakdown. And here we are in our breakdown part. How cool is this? I mean, the win rate in this deck is through the roof. It's maybe because Arena don't know how to handle this deck, or maybe it just gives me, I don't know. It's not really good matchups. I faced a lot of Boros Burn, I faced a lot of Rakdos Vampires, Grixis Vampires, Grixis Reanimation too, so the red-blue-black Reanimation deck. I had a really good success. Would I recommend to craft this deck? Yeah, definitely, because this deck is rotation-proof. This deck has everything you want, everything you need, and everything you ever wish to have in your life. Not really, but this deck will perform on a high level for you, and it will win more games than it will lose. This deck is also, let's say, not the most complicated to play, but really interesting to play. You have a lot of different play patterns and possibilities to do with this deck. Otherwise, if you have any suggestion, if you wanna maybe see more of a gameplay with this deck, let me know down in the comments. I will maybe make just pure gameplay video where you can see me playing this deck for an hour or something, whatever you like, right? We are still in developing the channel. This is why your opinion and your feedback counts a lot. I'm always welcoming it, so let me know if you want to see something different, or if you want to see more of this, some decks that you said, oh, I didn't saw enough to really have an opinion to use my wildcards for it. Otherwise, guys, I thank you for your time very, very much, and I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao.